Okari Nasai Minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 6. Okay, so this episode I want to kind of like review it in another way, okay, because for the past few episodes I have been like shitting on this show for a couple of weeks already. So instead of like kind of continue shit talk the show, even though like after watching this episode I still have certain thing that I want to shit talk about the show, instead of doing that, I want to praise the show. Okay, like a few things that this show did that I really love. I really want to like just give credit to the good thing that the showrunner actually did. Okay, so the first thing that I really love in this episode is they actually show us Lachesis a lot more. Okay, we get to see a lot of the Lachesis personality, and I'm all here for it. Like, oh my god, she is, I don't know, man, like she's like really my favorite abyssal sister. She looks really cute. She looks also really crazy as well. So it's more like the crazy and hot meter is like really on par there. So really subarashi. The more we get to see Lachesis, the more I love the show itself. And in this episode we also get to see Lachesis bless us with a shot which is kind of like really close to the forbidden territory thing. Like we get to see kind of like a thigh shot, and now you know my fetish. Okay, now you know my weird fetish. I am a huge fan of thighs, and then damn, I don't know what else to say. Okay, let me just move on to the next thing that I really love in this episode, and that is gonna be Spana bite. Oh my god, the bite that Spana actually used in this episode is so subarashi. Like the sound engine, the revving sound, so good. Okay, like I love it. It sounds way better than Go Dash, and I'm over here for it. Okay, like the pure like kind of like muscle sound. I don't know, like what do you actually call like a muscle version of a bike? Maybe it's kind of like a more kind of like a Harley Davidson bike, something like that. So really amazing thing. The third thing that I want to talk about that I really love in this episode is the burning gorilla finisher itself. I'm not sure what is the form actually called. I'm gonna call it burning gorilla because it sounds like it makes more sense to me to call it the burning gorilla rather than the burning sensei or something like that. Okay, so burning gorilla finisher is amazing. Okay, we get to see like he actually conjure up kind of like a fist of like rock with lava and like just hit hot Malgam. That is really subarashi. I really love that. So three things that I love in this episode, those are the three things. Okay, other than that I felt like the rest of the episode has a lot of bad things which I'm not gonna focus on. We already know the production quality is not that good, the acting is not that good, and all those stuff, blah blah. Oh yeah, another thing that I really love about this show that I forgot to mention is the insert song. Damn, the insert song is good, man. Like the sound and all those stuff, spot on. Whoever is editing this episode and putting the sound, they did a fantastic job. Okay, like I think they really nailed it with the sound design. But the rest of the thing in this show, subpar, can be improved, especially like the continuity guy. You really need to do your job, and the director, you also really need to be really attentive with a few things. Okay, but with that being said, we want to talk about the plot of Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 6. Okay, so in this episode there's a few things that kind of like stood up for me. So the first thing that really stood up for me, which really surprised me, is that how Spana is able to kind of like capture a Chemy that is flying halfway into a fuse, flying into a malicious person, and he is able to capture it so easily using kind of like his Chemy riser, something like that. So it really makes me wonder, like, damn boy, how strong is Spana? It like just showing us that he is able to do that is kind of like telling us like he is on another level to the rest of the character that we see in the show itself. Okay, so he is really special. We are not sure why that he is so insanely OP. Okay, but I felt like maybe there's also another, like after watching this episode, I actually kind of like sit down and think about Spana as a character. Like I'm not sure, like, is he truly an asshole, like how they actually make him out to be? Because by the end of this episode, we actually get to see that he actually doesn't know who this person in front of him actually is, and we also get to see that he always consistently like is like going to talk, like he's talking to Rene, and he's like kind of like giving Rene a lot of Chemy Cards and all those stuff. So it really makes me wonder, like, what is the relationship between Spana and Kudo, Rene, something like that. And I have an idea, a possibility of what it could be, which is Rene's Kudo father, Kudo Fuga, is actually the sensei, the teacher that teaches Spana to use alchemy, and that is why kind of like Spana has a kind of like a special respect for Kudo Rene, just because of that. Like he is actually giving her some sort of special treatment, something like that. Okay, but then again, I'm not sure. I don't think it's anything romantic at all, because in this episode we actually get to see like Spana, after saving Rene, Kudo didn't even offer her like, hey, you wanna like ride back to town with me with my awesome bike, something like that. Like he didn't do that at all. We don't get to see him do anything that remorse, like to show us that he is actually trying to pursue a relationship with Rene, Kudo, something like that. And speaking of like Spana not doing anything to pursue any relationship and all those stuff, like he kind of like he forgot the opponent that he's actually fighting with, and it actually makes me wonder, like, is he like this because of a side effect that he is actually facing when he uses his alchemy? Because his alchemy sounds too OP, and he's able to use the Valvarat form or Valvarat sword, something like that. It really makes me wonder, like, is there any, how do I say, like, is there any side effect or consequences of him using that power or not? Like maybe like he in return of using the power of Valvarat, he is actually losing his memory or losing his emotion, something like that. There is a possibility for that. But then again, if I don't think so, okay, I really don't think so. I think they are just out here trying to make Spana into a second Baron, something like that. If Spana turns out to be a second Baron for Kamen Rider game, it is, I don't know, man, like, I really not sure what to expect here, because so far Spana doesn't seem that bad. Okay, like he is an asshole, right, for sure, but he is not a bad person in a sense. Okay, so I'm not sure like what is gonna be the future of Spana, but right now so far I see is that he might we just have to wait and see his backstory. Okay, like hopefully by the time we get his backstory, is gonna explain why is he such an asshole and all those stuff. Then things are gonna get better moving forward. Okay, so with that being said, this episode, other than focusing on Spana, there's also another thing that they try to establish in this episode, is the different characteristic of the three Abyssal Sisters itself. Like I said, we get to see Lachesis more in this episode. I love it. And the thing is, like, Lachesis is like the type of person, like, just like you can really see that she's having fun when she's doing all this stuff for Master Gleon, and like she is willing, okay, to use like scummy person to turn them into Malgam and all those stuff. But that is not the same for Clotho. Clotho actually says that, hey, that is a strong malicious, but he is a scum. Okay, so you can really see that Clotho actually have kind of like a little bit of sense of of moral ground, something like that. And we might actually, I think the reason why we actually get to see that from Cloto itself is because like she is someone that is like looking for someone strong. Like I think it's Cloto is the one that actually gave the what was it again, the gorilla sensei to the wrestler guy, right? So it actually makes me wonder like, hey, maybe the possibility of Cloto becoming a good person seems more plausible, something like that, moving forward. But then again, I'm not sure. Okay, so 3 different sisters, 3 have all their like kind of like their own personality and all those stuff. I'm not so sure about the little girl abyssal sister. Like, if not mistaken, her name is Atrophos, something like that. We still don't really see her personality, but she seems to be the most administrative, like the most, like the one that is in charge. She is like planning like what is gonna be the next phase for Master Gleon and all those stuff. So that is really, really amazing. Okay, so this episode is overall very, very subpar episode, but like I said, there's still a few things that I feel like it's so good that you just have to find things in the show to entertain yourself with, something like that. Okay, so it's kind of like, Gotchard is a really, really trashy show, but then again, I can't stop watching a trashy show. Okay, so with that being said, that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to comment the word what is a good word today. Okay, like let's go with monkey. Okay, because we get to see burning gorilla here, so let's go with monkey as the word for today's video. Okay, so I think this video is very fairly short. Like if you guys didn't notice, like it's only like 12 minutes, and yeah, it is the end of the video. Why is it shorter? Because I didn't spend like 10 minutes bitching about this episode. Okay, so moving forward, I'm gonna try my best to not bitch about the series anymore. But then again, if they did something that is like really, really horrendously bad, I'm gonna bitch about it. That is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.